So I decided to make an isekai bingo, and it was a mistake. Or maybe not, I don't want to give any spoilers, I just wanted to start a bit more dramatic to boost the retention rates. We all know the rabbit hole that is the isekai genre in anime. There's no doubt it became extremely popular in the past few years, with heavy hitters such as ReZero, No Game No Life, Mushoku Tensei, Konosuba, but underneath the initial seemingly delicious mainstream anime, there's a pile of cardboard, trashy and putrid shows with no redeeming qualities, solely existing to make the rich richer and the AniTubers angrier. So, as I always do, I turned the bad into fun. I compiled a few common and iconic isekai tropes, and I turned those into a bingo card. Obviously, I randomized their places before making it. Let's take a look and clarify some of the squares here. Good villainess. The main character gets reincarnated as the villainess of a game, but now she's actually good. Quiet life. The main character stops fighting or just settles in a quiet countryside farm or village cause he's tired of a frenetic life. Virgin MC. I'm obviously not talking about being an actual virgin, but acting like one, not being able to talk to girls, or not understanding how basic social relationships work. Dragon Waifu. Here I'm referring to those dragons that the protagonist finds and, oh my god, it can turn into an anime girl. Quote unquote weak main character. You know, when the main character is summoned but only gets the ability to identify poisonous mushrooms, so he's kicked out and abandoned by the kingdom, but then the ability makes the main character find a sacred mushroom that gives him infinite XP, and now he's the strongest in the planet, but we'll keep it a secret because why not? Long title. The title has 8 words or more. Bonus points if it contains reincarnated as. Genius main character. The one that doesn't need to learn anything about the new world he's in. He just magically knows everything already. Non-human main character. Those goofy reincarnated as a doorknob anime. And the other ones are pretty self-explanatory. If you remember any tropes I didn't include, please tell me in the comments. If this goes well, I can also make a romance anime bingo, so let's aim for 100 likes. I asked my subscribers for the worst and the trashiest isekais they know, in my community tab, my Discord and my Twitter, and then got all the names together, except the ones I already watched, obviously, and spin the wheel to choose the one we're gonna use for the video. Oh, the fruit of evolution. Oh no, we got Coincide YouTube's request. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, that's a long title for me. And I think we can also already get the harem space since they're so kind to inform us about it. This may have started a bit too well. Let's take a look at the first episode and see if that's enough to end it here. This will contain spoilers, but I recommend watching the video anyways, because the anime was not worth it. Within the first few minutes, I was served with a plate full of red crosses, one after another. I somehow got both Past Life Loser and Fan Service crossed out even before he was transported to the isekai. Oh, okay. This is gonna be the easiest bingo in my life. And the only one. Okay. One more. Okay, Past Life Loser also. I even thought of maybe also crossing the virgin space, but to be fair, I'd also be surprised if I found myself waking up with a naked woman wanting to marry me, so I decided to give him another chance. During the worst conceivable transportation sequence, I also managed to get RPG mechanics, since the main skill they were granted was to check their status and an item box, and that would be just the beginning of what would essentially turn into a people stuck in a video game situation, where everything is based around stats, XP, levels and weapons with different rarities. Then we also learned that the main guy, Seichi, got crappy stats and everyone bullies him. After everyone else was transported to the new world, our hero was the last one remaining, so he got sent with an extra skill to a different place than all the others, because otherwise no one would watch this anime. At this point, the choppy and barely polished animation was a bit evident, but I gave it the benefit of the doubt and decided to wait a bit more until I eventually remembered what I was watching and realized it wasn't going to improve even if I waited a decade. Meanwhile, we just got some scenes of him surviving in the forest in a very entertaining way never seen before, while getting more extremely overpowered skills just by killing some monkeys. This feels like it was made for someone who already knows all the isekais, so they just skip all the introductions, skip all the world building, skip everything. This is so funny. I should also mention that he ate some fruits that made him evolve from being fat to skinny and hot. There he is. Black hair, normal haircut, no defining traits. We have another one. After that, not much really happened. We got to know the gorilla that appears in the covers, they fight, she falls in love with him. Well, you can clearly see that it's a female gorilla because it's pink and it has a flower. She kidnaps the poor innocent guy, and like that, we close the first episode. What is this? Okay, I admit, I might have underestimated how long trashy isekais can take to get all the cliché tropes going. So, basically, I was stuck with another episode to watch. But what I didn't expect was that this would only be the beginning to my most painful video ever. Episode 2 started strong with an amazing recap of the first one, which I actually kind of needed because I forgot about half of it anyways. I'm already scared of the title. Then we spent over 7 entire minutes going back and forth with the gorilla begging to get married and him rejecting her and making stupid faces that only 1 out of 10 people find funny without any proper joke behind it. Is that even how it works? Do you get to know how to talk just by looking at words? Like, how do you even know how to pronounce each word if you never heard anyone say it? After that torture, we finally got to see more of the other students and learned that they were summoned to destroy the Demon Lord, as usual. We also got the first space of the episode, which should be pretty obvious at this point, medieval setting. What? I sense a medieval setting? Those houses look pretty medieval. Swords? That looks pretty medieval. Kings? Heroes? Demon Lord? When we got back to the main duo, Seichi was trying to run away from her, but they end up having to fight a skeleton boy with love issues. The gorilla, whose name is Saria, just letting you know, sacrifices herself for him and she kind of starts dying, but not before our main character understands his love for her and defeats the bad guy. They kiss, boom, now she's a girl. Amazing, I know. Random flashback to feel bad for the villain they just defeated, and then I also ended up deciding to mark the Virgin MC space, because he kept acting like someone who never had any opportunity to look at a girl. I'll put the 5 out of 10 or less because I'm not really liking it that much. At this point, I was feeling optimistic because we were close to reaching bingo in multiple different lines. We only need magic school. Fast forward a bit and this small creature appeared to congratulate them for cleaning the dungeon and gives them some cool items. End of episode 2. This will be the last time I mention the recap, because every episode has a small recap of the entire anime until that point, for some reason. It just shows how little importance the plot has, to be honest. This episode starts off with them killing some slimes, getting some more upgrades, and also a robe that hides his true power level, which can count as quote-unquote weak MC, if we really think about it. Then they reach the village and decide to register themselves in the Guild of Adventurers, the typical move. I'm kind of scared to rewatch this part right now, because I'm currently writing this at school and yeah, I don't want my Portuguese teacher thinking I'm watching weird stuff, even if it kind of is. What am I doing with my life? All the characters here are just weird one-time jokes, except for the main characters, which are just plain and one-dimensional, not even worthy of being called a joke. If only this was funny. Also, what's with the game music always in the background? After they register, one of the weirdest scenes of the entire anime happens. A bunch of stereotypical bad guys appear to give the newbies a lesson. They ask him to follow them alone to a suspicious alley, and he doesn't even try saying no for some reason. But when they discover that he's actually the hottest person alive, it shifts their interest a bit, in a slightly homosexual way, if you understand what I mean. What am I watching? What am I watching? After escaping, Seichi and Saria take up the tasks to get accepted to the guild, so they get assigned another hot lady to supervise them. Sadly, no elf girl, no criminally undersized girl, no cat ears, no dragon waifu, just another regular girl. Damn it! The jobs were quite simple, taking care of kids, demolishing an old building, taking care of a dog, nothing much. What really mattered were the friends we made along the way. We got to know that the new girl, Artoria, has the curse of bringing misfortune to everyone around her, but the main characters are strong enough to survive that. This episode, despite being very boring, wasn't productive at all, just one single space marked. Hope to see that change in the future. Nothing. Just nothing. At this point I was starting to panic a bit. Unwanted thoughts were crossing my mind. What if I had to watch this anime until the end? Meanwhile, the test continued, and he encountered some demons setting a few traps, which later on were responsible for teleporting all three of them to a rather challenging dungeon, which ended up with Artoria almost getting killed. But Seichi saves her in the last possible moment, because plot armor, and that's just it. Why does he kinda look like Usopp though? We accomplished nothing during this episode, and as collateral damage, I ended up losing a few brain cells. This feels like they're trying to be a parody, but not really. I was really starting to regret this idea. An isekai bingo, good. Yeah, that's what I'll be known for. This here is the peak of my ideas. Great, I love it. Another episode, another false sense of hope grows as I see Seichi defeating this ultra powerful dragon boss, which could maybe, perhaps, perchance, turn into a girl after being tamed or something. Turn into a girl, turn into a girl, turn into a girl, turn into a girl, turn... But no, it just dies. I was losing it. I had to cope with something. What could I mark without seeming too far-fetched? Seeing him get extremely good skills from killing that dragon, I decided to finally accept the fact that he was, in fact, overpowered. And like that, I kept myself in this state of eternal suffering and anticipation for an eventual bingo. I sat through another flashback voiced by what sounded like AMC trying to speak Portuguese in Duolingo. Then our group got teleported back to the surface safe and sound. In the end, Seichi breaks Artoria's curse by giving her a ring that multiplies her negative luck by -2, therefore making it positive, maths. It also gives us a very emotional scene of them getting a bit closer. I couldn't care less though, I'm bored, I don't give a damn about those guys. I haven't seen a character worth caring about until now. I wanna stop, please, someone let it stop. I felt close. Everything was seemingly ready to take a sudden turn. I had 2 different lines with only 1 space remaining. Everything could be over at any time, but would it really be that easy? At this point, Artoria was clearly falling for him, so ghosting was her main option, obviously. Seichi tried finding some more information about the other classmates, so he asked some of the other guild members. I don't know what took him so long to remember that his classmates were also in that world, but that's when I had my first edge, a vision of a near end. They were mentioning a magic school. Wait, slavery? We're getting to the good parts. This sounds really bad. All I had to wait for is to actually get the characters there. I needed them to go to that freaking magic school. He also mentioned enslaving them, so that would be another space cleared. By the way, small intermission, but the main guy just went to the library, flipped pages, and got all the abilities in every page of the books without even reading them. Like, what's even the point? Why not just give him every ability already? This is so stupid. Anyways, continuing. I got another jump scare when he was roaming the streets and started talking to a cat girl. A combo of Kemono Mimi plus slavery could end this game as well, so I was overjoyed with the amount of signs and promises the anime was giving me during the episode. But then, he ended up just buying a painting from her and going away. Remember the ring he gave Artoria last episode? Well, when he goes to a bar, we discover that giving a ring to a girl in the exact same finger as he did was a sign of eternal love, and apparently cannot be undone. And we end the episode with them kissing, accepting each other, and kind of marrying. The harem finally starts. So let's hope by the next episode we have our bingo finished, cause I don't want to continue. It's hurting me. Everything seemed to be set to finish this episode. Despite the very weird beginning, the episode seemed promising. Seichi went to buy a horse, and the anime managed to, surprisingly and out of nowhere, finally make a good joke that almost made me go this was looking too good to be true. He ended up buying the wild donkey after getting a skill that lets him talk to animals and taming her. He enlists himself in the Royal Cup, a dangerous horse race for warriors. I got a bit hopeful, because I really like racing anime and competitive stuff. I did not like that slow motion, but it only lasted about 5 minutes and they won without any effort, so I guess I shouldn't have put my hopes up too much. The first prize was staying a day with the hot Valkyries. Once more, I was facing a situation of possible closure for the challenge. On the last minute, the horse started turning into a girl. All I needed was for her to have animal ears. I know it wouldn't actually give me a bingo, but I wanted something. I needed a reason to keep going. No! No. But I guess we never really win, do we? I didn't know it yet, but this specific episode would be a game changer, and a big one at that. We start once more with hot girls all around our main character, then more hot girls coming to get him to spend the day with the Valkyries. We saw a bit more of their training routines, but then that's when it happened. Okay. That's it. We did it. Let's go, it's over, the pain is over. We did it. They were in the Magic Academy. Just like that, my fears were gone. Light was visible. My mind restored. The game was over. Until I decided to watch the remaining episodes, since I was so close to the end. Just to summarize what happened during the remaining 10 minutes of the episode, Seichi defeated the strongest Valkyrie and stole their hearts, and the king was attacked by an assassin cat girl. If I wanted to continue watching after completing my main mission, I needed another motivation to keep going. So I decided to invite a special guest to get tortured with me, just for this episode. Do you wanna watch a cool anime? I kept the bingo going on till the end, just to see how far I could have gone anyways. But basically... Oh, slavery? I could have gotten slavery.
Is this still the recap or?
No, this is already there.
Oh, okay. Isn't she also a child?
He's like 17, I guess, or something like that.
So a child.
No.
The animation could be worse. They actually move. Sometimes. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be funny or if it's supposed to be taken seriously. Just think of all the people that poured their heart and soul into this.
Their art was already empty then.
It looks like he has a six-pack.
And yeah, that was it. What did you think?
Yes, amazing.
Slavery. Thank you for being with me.
You're welcome.
Don't tell anyone, but I watched the last 3 episodes in 2 times speed, because now that I wasn't recording, I didn't have any reason to watch it properly, besides adding another number in my completed list. Time for a lightning round. After some food torture, they found out the cat girl had an enslavement collar and couldn't take it out. Can you guess how he freed her? He summoned freaking President Abraham Lincoln. I am not joking. She joins the party and 2 more spaces crossed, making a triple bingo. The last 2 episodes are basically a big battle between the attacking monsters and a group of powerful perverts. Seriously, what is this? It's so bad that it actually becomes a bit funny. Just a bit though, it's still mostly bad. In the end, I'm giving this a 4.5 out of 10. It was terrible, very bad, but somehow it wasn't very complicated to keep watching. It was cheap and easy to consume. Thank you so much for watching, 100 likes and I'll make the romance one. See ya!